Good evening, everybody. Once again, welcome to another session of D&D. I am Will, my aka Artificial. Once again, I will be your dungeon master for this evening. We got a solo campaign planned this evening with me, as always, the half-elf rogue Scaithe, played by Daniel.
Hello there.
All right. Today's campaign will be entitled True Breeding, and let's get right into it. You just teleported away with Sabrak the Drow from your little training hall where you've just learned a good little assortment of magic spells. And you appear out of the little teleportation closet into your new headquarters you've just bought with your new wealth of money. You plan to set up shop for your, excuse me, your little adventurers shop, or whatever you want to call it. Shortly behind you, as soon as the door closes, the door opens right back up, and Relic comes out, the little embezzled tiefling you just been practicing with as well. He instantly starts gawking about, "Oh my gosh, this place is cool, it's huge!" He says, really admiring your new little headquarters. It's not much, you don't have any furniture or anything in it yet, but you can tell this place is going to have some really cool potential.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it?
oh
Little
yeah, he's just gawking at all the craftsmanship as the time being.
Little tall for my tastes, but I can deal with it.
He starts looking outside. Oh, what a view! He says. You look over the homestead streets, and you can kind of see the market in the distance, hustling and bustling. You look outside, and it's a kind of a cloudy day. It's about it's just after lunch. It's not quite afternoon time, but it's been into the day. You've been trying to look this place over and get your plannings right. And it's a very cloudy day. It's very overcast. Just your not a dreary day, but just a very mellow day right now. To which the door to the potionarium next door opens up, and you see your drunken wizard Bartleby come through. As always, with a flask in his hand.
Bartleby at it again? Just always at it again, aren't you?
He holds up a finger as he is still chugging from his flask. Now everyone is stared at this wizard who was just downing this ale. Yes, he says, tucking the flask back into his robes. You're not gonna waste a spell that refills any sort of container you've got. You're not gonna waste that kind of thing, he says.
I'll give you that.
I've got. Have we set up shop yet? He says.
Yeah, you're in it. We're good.
Oh, he looks around, kind of like he's never seen this place for a second here. Are we taking cases yet?
Well, our other compatriots aren't here, but depends on the case. What do you got? I'm a little bored.
Well, I just got word from the local king that we've gotten a missing persons report, and well, I thought you'd like to investigate it.
Oh, sure, why not? Missing persons doesn't seem too hard.
Usually not.
Think I might be able to tackle that one on my own.
To which the drow kind of collects the tiefling and says, "Come on, let's let him work. Don't worry about it." And he kind of drags the tiefling back to the closet. "No, I want to see. He's got so much. There's like a second floor in that." As he starts dragging the tiefling away, they go into the closet. You hear the teleportation thing go away, and they're assumably gone. You're here with Bartleby, and he says, "Well, basically, we, of course, we don't raise all of our local foods here in Homestead. We have to import some of them, right?"
Understandable.
Well, one of our ranches has been sending us a few, well, rotten shipments recently, unfortunately. Some of the meat that's come over has been spoiled, and We sent out a local inspector to go see, what the deal was, if it was like a carting error or something like that. And, well, frankly, he's gone missing.
That doesn't sound right.
We haven't sent out a party or anything yet because, well, it literally just happened like this morning we found out he's not back yet. And, well, I thought it'd be something for you to check out if you wanted.
Sure. It sounds fun.
Well,
Could use a little rural scene after that technological monstrosity that I had.
yeah, he says. Well, basically this ranch just a little bit to the west here, Redeve Ranch is the ranch in question, and well, I mean, I don't really have much else for you. Just go there and see what's up, I suppose.
Okay.
You're familiar where this ranch is at, but you've never actually been there or been by it, so to speak. It's not even a couple minutes walk or possibly cart just out of the west gates of the city, and it just kind of veers off to one of the natural paths. Do you think you'll need some backup on this one? Bartleby kind of says as he begins to take his flask out of his coat again.
Well, I could use some company. Do you want to come with?
Oh, I mean, I don't have to. I mean, I've got my day kind of planned out, he says, shaking his flask.
Well, I mean, if you're too busy, you don't have to.
Well, if you insist, as he takes another large swig. He says, but, of course, I could be your backup if you need it, of course, as always.
Welcome aboard.
Whoa, 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 now, look, let's not get hasty here. All I'm saying is if you have an issue here, I can get you back here, no problem. You know for a fact that Bartleby is masters of teleportation.
Well, I'm not going to just bring you along as an escape route. I mean...
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out this little magic crystal, the size of 2 fingers or so. He says, this little guy right here is an instant get out. You just press this button and I can locate you and teleport you right back here safe and sound in your bed.
Alright then. How will I get a hold of you if you're staying here?
The crystal, he says, looking at you like, didn't I just explain this?
Yeah, but how will you know when to locate me, or are you just going to be watching?
You hold this crystal up, hold it in your hands, it'll start glowing, and this one will start glowing. He holds up the same crystal you now realize is hanging around his neck.
There you go. Now you're explaining things properly.
Oh.
Okay. Fair enough. I'll just take the crystal and be on my way then.
I just don't want to get in your way, he says as he takes another huge swig. Because I can be, well, you know.
I know, Bartleby. It's alright.
I started early.
Alright, that's fine. That's fair enough. Maybe next time.
Okay, I'll try and pencil you in, he says. Do you need anything before you go? Anything magical? He says.
I think I'll just stop by the potionarium to pick up an extra mana bottle quickly.
Oh, I can get it for you. As he instantly rushes in the door before you have a second word at anything and rushes out with about 5 more flasks. Here, take them. We got them by the dozens.
Okay, then.
So
That should be it.
you're about to set off. What do you gear up with, my good man? Anything you've basically stored everything in your little personal trunks in like your bedroom-ish, or what you call dibs as your bedroom.
Well, I think I'm gonna leave my bird. Just
Okay.
take his nest out of the hood and put it on a nice shelf,
Hmm.
a sunlit shelf.
I'm assuming you still take your basic adventurer's kit.
Yeah.
As you're reading through your stuff, you also notice you still have the note you wrote of Ziara's death that you have not done anything with yet.
On the way out, I'm going to post it on the town's bulletin board.
Alright, you're gonna hope that someone of importance is going to take that into consideration or something of the sort.
Yes, it's basically just a public notice anyway. So
Hmm. You still have your 3-foot short sword.
yes.
Your obsidian daggers are still in good condition.
Yep. I'm gonna leave the bag of random stuff.
Okay.
It's weighing me down today.
You still had 4 medium explosives from the last encounter.
Uh,
And of course, since you've gained wealth since then, you can buy and upgrade anything you choose since then. So at
yeah.
this point, make your own little agenda. What do you have?
I think I'm going to pack 2 of the explosives. I mean, I'm going to a farm. Will I really need them?
Well, you're not sure. You have to travel through the forest on the way, so you never know what you're going to need in an adventure. You have been taught an adventure must be ready for anything.
That's why I'm taking 2 instead of all 4. I want to leave some. I don't want to waste them.
Because you brought a crucifix to fight a vampire and ended up fighting mutant Jello. How in the world did
Yes.
that work?
That didn't work very well at all.
Alright.
I'm going to take my short sword to the local smithy and have it sharpened and reforged.
Alright,
Or
the
I will
local...
have had it done.
Yeah, the local smithy will basically... he'll sharpen it and basically reinforce it with another coating of steel on it. Make it a little bit heavier, but you believe you can get used to it.
Yep.
So basically your normal setup, so to speak.
Yeah.
Okay. You still do have 2 instant heals, 2 instant health potions. And you
Okay.
have 5 little vials of mana.
I think that should be... You know what? Because I've got the plant-eye attack, is there some sort of, like... I want to try and get a ball of moss. Just a ball of moss.
Alright, you go to the market. It doesn't take you too long to sort around to a few of the little flower booths and such, and you just simply ask them for a ball of moss, and one of the vendors kind of is like, "What do you want a ball of moss for?" The other one's like, "Oh, well, here," and basically rustles you up a small little ball of moss about the size of like a softball.
Perfect. Because that moss can live in shades and pockets, so that's... I don't want it to die,
You
know?
kind of put it in with your. It's fairly moist to the touch. You kind of put it in with your adventurer's kit.
Perfect. I should have, like, a small flask of water or something that it can, like, stick some roots to
Oh yeah,
the
you've
top
got a
of
small
something.
canteen.
Yeah.
What?
It got left in the machine.
And you set off?
I want to also pick up a couple pebbles off the ground.
Okay, you store that in your adventurer's kit.
Okay, we're set.
Make your way to the west end gate of town, and you're fairly sure you know the way, and it would be a short walk if you choose to walk. Of course, you could easily flag down a cart should you choose to.
Right.
Because it is very overcast. You are unfamiliar if you predicted it to rain today or not.
Is it moist? How's the air? Is it just...
The air's pretty dry, but you can tell it's probably going to kick up a little bit of wind later.
Okay. So it's probably just overcast, not a lot of rain planned. Maybe a light drizzle.
Do you want to walk, or would you like to take something like a cart? There are a
Why
few.
waste someone else's time? Let's just walk.
All right. Basically, you take a small little league through the woods where you remember this ranch is supposed to be. Oh, maybe a good hour or two goes by. You're into the afternoon hours, not evening yet. Still plenty of daylight out. And you come across a natural variation in the path, which you should remember is the proper way to this Redeve Ranch. I already have it pulled up for the viewers, but I have one cue here for you, which basically shows what the path looks like. And give me 1 second, and I will cue that for you.
Okay.
This right here. You continue down the pathway, and you notice a natural fence has been built with logs and some pretty heavy, thick, like steel wire.
Hmm.
But it seems to be lining, you know, the sides of the path that you're going down. Now, this is not normal to see through a forest path, but not, totally unexpected.
Just something new.
As far as you can tell, this is probably the fence to the ranch, as you would expect the ranch would have a fence.
Right.
Probably marking the borders, if anything.
Okay.
You also notice that there are just flowers of all assortments, not even some flowers that are in season, lining the inside of the fence. Not on the path side, on the inside. Just lining it like these flowers are like side by side, like there is no breathing room in between these flowers. A natural small little wall of just short little flowers lining the inside.
Mm-hmm.
You continue further down the league, and you start to notice a very unpleasant smell.
I take a little cloth and just put it over my nose.
Um,
That is pretty bad.
you're not sure if you can place what this smell is, but it's very unpleasant. Do you want to roll perception to see if you can guesstimate what it might be?
Or where it's coming from. 3.
3. You don't know where it's coming from. It's kind of all out in the open.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a familiar smell. You smelled it before. You believe it's possibly like something rotting, as far as you can tell.
Fun. Rot.
You maybe expect something. A wolf has probably killed something not too far off and left it, or something of the sort.
Yeah, that seems...
You continue down the way, and it's not too long before you start noticing the path is kind of scrapped up a bit, like someone's been kicking the sod around and such.
It's probably like a wild wolf or something. Looking for the remains of that other wolf's kill.
You brush that off and continue down the way. Then you also start noticing a few little, pretty noticeable splotches of blood on the ground.
Okay, that's not normal. I want to do a little bit of perception and see if I can't piece together some things.
Alright, yeah, I actually don't even need you to roll this. You just look up the path a little bit ways and you see a large scrape of blood, like something's been hit and drug off to the side kind of deal. You investigate around this little pool of blood and you take notice of a few things. It looks like a few scraps of cloth, as well as a broken pair of glasses.
Do I notice anything about the glasses? Do they have an insignia on them or anything?
They don't have any sort of etching, but you can tell they are some pretty fancily glasses. Probably, at your best guess now, this may have been used by a dignitary of some kind. And since you're looking for some sort of inspector, you probably think this, unfortunately, may have been it.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. I want to pick up the glasses just so they're not left on the ground, you know?
Pocket the glasses.
Yeah.
Fortunately, you weren't giving any real information about this inspector, or what he looks like, or who he is, or what it is, or who she is, or anything of the sort.
Hence the reason I picked up the glasses, and they might be able to identify them.
Fair enough.
If I can't find any other
You
markings.
only notice that this blood kind of just trails off into the forest and kind of just disappears off the path. As far as you can tell, whatever got to this guy has probably finished with this guy. Or girl, we don't know who it was.
I better continue on to the farm to make sure they're okay, because something able to drag off someone like this might be endangering the ranch.
Yeah, a few more minutes pass, and you basically come to this small little clearing, and you see a natural little stone sign built that says Redeve Ranch. And you open through this little clearing of the trees, and you're at this gate that is formed out of the same style fence, just wooden logs and some steel wire. Through the
Mm-hmm.
gate, you can see this entire ranch is kind of enclosed in this pasture, like these canopy trees kind of almost naturally fold around it like a rim of a bowl. Like it's got a
Hmm.
giant natural forest skylight. But the entire ranch, as far as you can tell, is enclosed by forest with these towering trees.
That's impressive.
From the gate, you can see to the almost directly towards the far end. There's a what looks like a well and some animal stables. You can kind of peer a little bit around to the right past these trees, and you can see looks like possible animal pens. And to the left, you do happen to see a large tree and what looks like a farmhouse in the far distance. That's about all you can see from your vantage point.
Mm-hmm.
The gate seems to have a
So,
natural little latch on it. It does not appear to be locked or anything.
what's the condition of the latch and stuff? Has it been damaged in any way, or is it just
No, everything
aged?
looks to be in order. Just a natural
Okay.
little latch to close the gate.
Okay. I would like to enter and head to the farmhouse.
Alright, you enter the gate. Do you close it behind you?
Yes.
You close the gate behind you. It latches normally as expected.
Now,
Um,
does the latch unlatch again?
no, latch stays there. It does not appear to be broken.
No, I mean, can I unlatch it myself?
Oh yes, it should. Nothing. There's no locking mechanism on it.
I'd want to make sure it just wasn't magicked.
You try out your little dispel magic, and it does not seem to work. Nothing seems to be affected.
Good. Okay. Safety first. I don't want to
The
be stuck here.
natural sounds of the animals, chickens and horses and cows, start to hit your ears as you pass through this gate. The normal sounds you'd expect of this ranch. It sounds like a fully stocked farm ranch. Um, you do see off in the far distance, heading over between the stables and the barn, you see a large half orc carrying two large barrels on their shoulder away from you towards the barn. Uh, you also see this uh, somewhat tall, bulky figure kind of walking like perpendicular to your path, away from you, like close to the well, not too far from you. He seems to have like a scroll in his hand, and he's scratching over it, like writing some things down.
Do I know if it's normal for ranches in this area to have half orcs as assistants?
It's not normal as you would put it, but it is not unheard of. Half orcs are, of course, very strong and would be very good farm hands as you consider it now for large, heavy liftings and such.
Okay.
This figure with the scroll stops and is still etching something down, like he's taking notice or notes of something. He's just, maybe about 400 feet in front of you, just at the well, just kind of leaning up against it, just like taking inventory of something in his head.
Okay. So, could I assume or presume that this individual might be of major importance here?
You believe if this person is not like the ranch owner, he would be, you know, he looks possibly more than just a, as you would expect, a farmhand. He seems to be in some basic, almost adventurer's gear. He's got some thick boots on, and he's actually got two little leather shoulder clasps on. But he doesn't appear to be dressed fancily or anything.
I'd like to walk over to him and try and talk to him about the things that. Well, I just want to go talk to him.
You get about 5 or 6 steps, and he looks up from his paper and realizes you're there. You instantly take sight that this being throws you off. He is like Will Powers from freaking Phoenix Wright. Not as wide, but just as tall. He has this hair about him. He's a very hairy man. That his hair forms almost like a lion's mane around him. I mean, beard and all. Uh, he seems to be wearing some basic adventurer's gear. Nothing, that would really stick out. But the main feature that probably you would discern him from anyone in a crowd is his eyes. He has a very glazed look into his eyes. But his pupils, his sclera, are actually bright yellow, almost like they glow a neon yellow, with black pupils. But his glazed look in his eyes kind of give these neon sclera more like a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a semicircular bowl shape, like the letter U form in his eyes. Because he's like his eyelids are naturally half closed, kind of deal. Oh yes, yes sir. What can I help you with? He puts down his scroll and kind of starts to walk to meet you halfway there.
Actually, I came here looking for, an individual who was sent here by the town.
Oh, are you the inspector? He says.
No, unfortunately, I think the inspector might have not made it
Oh,
here.
unfortunate. Did he
Very.
get lost?
No, I think I pull out the glasses. He might have been
Oh.
eaten.
Get ready for work.
Oh my.
Yes.
How unfortunate.
It is. I stole the glasses.
Okay, he says to himself, kind of not needing to know that.
No, stow. I put them
Oh,
back.
I thought you said stole. I'm sorry.
No. Stow the glasses.
No problem. He says, well, that's, unfortunate. Will you be taking his place, I assume?
It's not actually my job, but I figure it would be the nice thing to do.
Ah, I see. Um, did you find anything other than glasses? He kind of hesitantly questions at you.
Not to get too gruesome, no body, but there was a lot of... It seemed there was a massive struggle, and there were streaks of blood being dragged into the fenced-off area of the forest. Other than that, I found nothing.
No burn marks? He questions.
That's a little odd to say, I would think to myself.
Uh,
No burn marks
Roll
whatsoever.
perception for me, Scaithe.
Yes. 17.
You now notice as soon as he says that, you kind of get the buildings in this ranch a once over. You notice a lot of the exterior have been singed. A lot of parts of the buildings have been singed. Some of them have been, repainted over, but you notice there is some, natural looks like fire damage to some of these buildings.
No, I didn't notice any burn marks. I think it might have just been a rather large creature dragging off another victim. Now that you mention it, though, have you had any problems with fiery beings?
Ooh, yes, this part of the forest is notorious for their fire wolves, and we, as you can see, he kind of motions over to some of the buildings. We've had our fair share run-in with them.
I see, and I do apologize for that if it was insensitive.
Oh no, not at all. It's just if you didn't see any sort of singe marks or burning notes of anything, then we can hope it was something like a bear or something of the sort. Maybe something less dangerous.
I can understand that.
Well, let's see here. He kind of scratches up a few little things on his scroll, real quick. And he hurriedly puts it away as well as his little charcoal pencil he's got with him. Yes, Redeve, Farewell Redeve. Here, he holds his hand out to shake your hand.
Pleasure to meet you, and I extend mine as well.
And I assume you introduce yourself.
Yes.
Okay. Uh,
Scaithe.
yes, nice to meet you. Welcome to Redeve Ranch. We are local homegrown. I am the proprietor. I am the owner.